So it's nice to see some other people post before I did this week. That's awesome. So what I want to do is go over my code just really quickly with the caveat of saying, right, I want you to write your own code. So even if you've written your own code and you're looking at me walking through code with you, make sure you've created your output in your own way and not based on what you've seen here, because that's the part of this that you want to learn. Now, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to do a little CSS because it was just too plain. Now, I'm going to require this in week 8, but this week I didn't. But I was like, I can't look at that boring page anymore. So, for those of you that may have struggled a little bit with the walking through code, I did cover on attendance how to do it with a button, but I want to just do it one more time because I know some of you did not get this piece and it's not going away. Okay. This piece is going to be with us for the rest of the semester. So now that I've opened up, right click, inspect, I go to sources, I find my JS file. And if I looked at last time we did this, week 5, I can see that it's pretty much the same, except I created a new function for my display and I created an event listener. Okay, so I'll walk through both of those things. So again, this was my approach. Come up with your own approach for how you create the DOM elements. Okay. So what I did, you can see this up here on my update DOM, is I pass in the text I want to create. And instead of only creating a P, I decided to also send in the element. That way, this function for me was much more flexible to use. Now we're going to learn other techniques for how to create new DOM elements and how to render the page in next week's content as well. But this was just kind of my way of making it a little more fun for myself. But again, this was my design. So come up with your own, however you handle it. So, we've seen all of this except this part where for me, when I created the element, I just passed in whatever I passed in. Now you can see how I use it. So for my first, once I click the button, which I'll look at the event listener, then I create a no text, sending no text in, but I am creating an HR, that's a line, creating a H1, an LI, an LI, okay, and an H2 here, right? So that's how I've handled writing my own specific approach to how to handle the DOM output. But I look forward to seeing how you handle it, okay? All right, so now what I did is I did document selector button, and then I added an event listener for click. So here's my button, here's my click, right? Then I really did pretty much what I did before by calling my looping. I just called my process daily. I called it for each on my, go back up and I'll show you. Here's my array of objects. Okay. Now, one thing I thought would be fun is actually to select a random day, but I decided this will be okay for now. So again, I'm calling the function. So for each one of them, I'm calling it an object, and then I'm passing that object in so that nothing is going to show up until I actually click the code. Good, there we go. So that shows me the output. So if I wanted to see that in action, this is the part of learning how to use DevTools. You set that breakpoint, you can just click on the other side. You have to refresh the page in order to activate the breakpoint, okay? And now you might say, well, what I normally see is here is not here. And I would say, yeah, because you haven't clicked the button. And my breakpoint is inside of my event listener for my button. So in order to activate it, I have to click. And now I'm in to calling based on my first object, my first function. So then I drop in. Okay, I come in, I still call it object. I could have called it something else, but I've already abstracted it, which is fun. And then it runs through my code. And by the way, one of the things you'll see, and some of you already saw me do this, it's like, here, I know what's going to happen in here. Now, the first time I'm going to show you, but thereafter doesn't make sense. So we'll go ahead and step in, and I can see I passed in my element. I passed in no text for this one, and then it created the line, and boom, there it is. I use CSS to style it a little bit, not much, but enough to make me feel a little better. And then that's the way this runs. So it's not a major update this week. And the other thing you could think about, and I think I'll probably say this in week 8, is, if you're getting tired of your decision code, create a new decision. I think that's a good thing to do. Come up with a new decision. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I have next week's code. But anyway, so hope this helps. Again, I look forward to seeing your approach to how you handle this. All right. Talk to you later.